Another stylistic technique you're able to do in After Effects is with blend modes. And this is similar in Photoshop or even Premiere Pro if you're aware of those there. So bring in the fire and ocean video clips and then drag the ocean into a new composition. So it creates that perfect comp for that video. And then drag the fire clip on top of the ocean. You'll notice that the fire is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit of a wider aspect than the ocean. So just bring up the scale and increase it. So S to bring up scale and then increase the scale until it covers. So a blend mode is basically affecting how two layers interact and how they appear. So you can see all of your blend modes under this mode column by dropping it down and choosing your different blend modes. If you don't see that column, there will probably be a toggle switches mode button down here. Just click that so you see the mode column. Another thing, and what I like to do because it really depends on what the mode is for what it looks like and what clips you're using, you can scroll through all of these different modes by clicking Shift and then the plus and minus keys on your keyboard that are right next to the delete key. So as you can see, I'm going through the modes, it's changing, and you can see what's happening when I do that. The way these two clips are blended changes. Now, some are different than others. There's some like screen and lighten that get rid of a lot of the blacks in the image. There's others like multiply that get rid of a lot of the lights. So what happens is the top image, when we choose multiply, the bottom image appears through the highlights of the top video, so the brighter parts. If we change it to, say, screen, it's kind of the opposite. The back image or the bottom image shines through the darker parts of the fire shot, and the lighter parts are still there. Scrolling through these, I found that for this clip, Stencil Luma is a really cool one. It basically makes the bright completely transparent and the darks completely not transparent for this top layer. So the flame actually shows what's behind. And I thought that was a really cool technique. You know, fire and water, who knows what this video would be of, but I just wanted to show you how cool that actually could be using the blend modes. It'll also look different if you put the ocean on top. So if I put the ocean on top and I use the same thing, Stencil Luma, it's different. You get the orange from the fire. You don't get the color from the top layer. So how is this actually practical? Well, say we put the fire on top. Let's change it to, how about something where it looks like the flames are on top of the water, something like lighten. And if we make this smaller and we put it on top of the horizon, you know, this could be some sort of apocalyptic scene. It looks like the flames are coming from the edge of the horizon. Now, it's not perfect because as this moves, the horizon changes, and also there's this hard edge on the side. So to combat that, what I would do is create a mask. So take our rectangle tool, and let me just show you by changing this to normal so you can really see what I'm doing. And then make a mask around the edge and through the rest of this clip, and then feather it. So pressing F, you can bring up mask feather, or you can drop down the mask and the mask properties and feather the edge like so. Now, if I change the blend mode for this layer back to lighten, the edge doesn't look as bad. We can also just duplicate this and move it to the side. So drag it over to the side and maybe one more time so we have it going across the entire frame. And you can see we can even overlay these on top of each other. Duplicate it again, put it on top. Duplicate it again, put it on top. So we're getting even more flames. And actually, on this case, we'd probably want to create that feathering effect on the right-hand side of the clips too, so it's not that hard edge. The last thing I just want to show you is the blend mode of a solid shape layer. So if I take our shape layer tool and let's choose a blue actually, and then let's put this down here. Maybe we're going to put a title card on the bottom, get rid of the stroke, and let's just change the blend mode to maybe like overlay. I like that one. I mean, if we move this up here, you can see that we can create this sort of bar across that is this cool kind of effect, and maybe add text over here, overlay, like so. Center that up, and maybe change the overlay text blend mode to overlay itself. You can get this kind of cool effect. Or if you want the video of the background showing through this text layer, let me delete the shape layer. What I can do is change the blend mode of the overlay text to stencil alpha. So now the bottom video layer is actually shining through the white text. Cool. So that's a lot you can do with blend modes. It's often a cool thing to play around with. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in another lesson.